Right. Hi, guys. Good evening. Right. Yes, we are towards the last session for the day, and we are just done for 2 days. Uh, right. Just going to give a little around like close to a couple of minutes to get everybody online because we are going to discuss about the plan for tomorrow and especially the pitching part of it. What are you going to do? How are you going to pitch? What is the outcome of it? Right. Just going to be a quick casual chat, but to get in line. So kind of we call it reflection or warm up for the day two to get a quick completion. So would before starting, thank you very much for morning. We did about fish, right? So probably from a confident thinking through all these particular knowledge download from what we started in business model canvas and MVP prototype, two series of mentorship from close to 15 plus mentors from industry. So all of this would have at least opened our mind or at least got towards validation. And also, I saw some of the team members were working towards EPFS community to get your ideas validated, which is all awesome. Again, guys, tap on your shoulder. Very good job that you guys have done so far, and immense commitment. I'm always in love with the commitment that you give back, right? So, what makes everybody to be an entrepreneur, to whoever you want to be, is all depends on commitment, right? So, you got to give back the time to acquire knowledge and commitment back into what you want to be. Good. Yes, getting people in line. Okay, guys, really awesome. So let's dive in deep. Okay, I would like to know through the comments how much are you ready? Or how much are you in line with the concept, right? Like what have how was the day today, right? How much are you ready to go? Because tomorrow is kind of a pitching and few more round off of mentorship so that you're good to go kind of thing. So today we are going to talk about pitching plus what is tomorrow, right? So there's no much knowledge download. It's all about reflecting and applying, right? With what you know previously and what you want to be in the future, right? Yes. So how much are you in line with your concept? Sure. Right. So I want to know about how much are you in line with your concept. Uh, at least how much work is done, right? So at least feel free, guys. This, as I told, is a very reflective conversation we're gonna have. I know it's me gonna talk, but you're gonna communicate back to me with chat. So say in percentage or say in conceptually, you are very clear, right? Or the prototype is on its base. Good, good. After so far in good place. Lahiru today was very good. Thank you very much. So more to come, right? So I hope all of you are in line. Very clear. Okay, brilliant. Streamline the concept, doing the MVP now. Awesome. That's what exactly we wanted. So you have the entire night now, but make sure that you have some good sleep as well. Great. All right. Right. So with that, we let's move in. Right, guys. What's about pitching, right? So just gonna quickly dive you a little more into what you should be pitching, right? Uh, right. Just trying to understand how many of you are ready for pitch, right? Just forget about you have the presentation to be done, MVP to be done, right? How many of you are very clear with your idea what you want to communicate tomorrow? You can say clear, not clear, or like cooking on its way. So I just more would like to understand. Okay, Shamlan official. Okay, okay, interesting, interesting. Good guys. Good. I see you guys are very clear. Right. Good. Just gonna get few things loaded, guys. So until you get your guys reflect, and I know more people are coming on. So until that happens, right. Interesting. Right. Okay. Right. Thank you very much. Right. So all of you are very clear with the idea. Right. So any idea how long do you have? So again, as I told you, I'm gonna keep asking few questions. Once you're very clear with the questions, that I'm gonna take it on. Right. How many of you have an idea that how long do you have tomorrow? Like, is it 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Do you have any idea about how long do you have your idea to be pitched? How many of you know the process? How many of you are clear about what's going to happen? Because this is again very important, very subjective of what's need to be done. So I'm again going to give you a little more time to understand what is. I want to understand what is in your mind. Because you guys are working throughout. How long do you think that you are given an opportunity to communicate your idea? So you just put a comment saying number of minutes. What do you think that you will have to communicate? 5 minutes. Okay. More. Right. Interesting. Right. Okay, I just got one response. Okay, yeah. So, thank you guys. Just making the questions much clear. How long do you think that you have? Okay, so Anton Sandaravan says 5 to 10 minutes. Anton says 10 minutes. Chamat Beragama says 10 minutes. Okay. Sanara expects 15 minutes. Very interesting. Rifai Rilfi expecting 10 minutes. Good, good. This is one of the reason why I ask questions, right? So more than what me telling the concept about what's going to work around, I want to understand how long do you think that you need, which is a very very important stats, right, to us as well. Right, great. Okay, with further no delay, let's get into this. Right. Okay, gonna present it. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna get into the show. Gonna just share the screen a little bit. Right. My tech team, can I get the share screen as well? Okay, awesome, great, right? Brilliant, right? Okay, thank you very much, guys, for all of you responding. Okay, let's wait is over, right? So it's 5 minutes, right? It's 5 minutes, all what you have to communicate. So normally an elevator pitch would go up to 2 minutes, maximum. An extended version would go to 3 minutes. Now you have 5 minutes. So there's something, two things to be understood. What do you think that you should communicate in line with judging criteria, right? Number one. And number two, what are the best practices of pitching? So first, what I'm going to do is a very quick run through, and as usual, guys, I'm not going to take this particular live session very long. I just want to tap into the point, put something into your mind as an experience that you got part into a startup weekend online edition. Second version is basically how I'm going to present and what's the format for tomorrow, right? Okay, let's quickly dive in about some key points. So, what is the best structure for a talk, right? So it's 5 minutes. One of you gonna talk. So number one, start by making your audience okay using a relatable example of uh, example or a problem that you are solving. Right. Try to make them connect. And guys, understand from a physical presentation to a virtual presentation, very rarely you get to guide whether what you are talking. You don't know whether the excitement of the audience is there. You don't know if the audience is receiving it very well. So it's gonna be like the very like poker environment, right? You don't know really what others are thinking, right? But keep your moral, keep your like attitude very positive. Nail your 5 minutes as your 5 minutes opportunity. And the difference between like a judging session tomorrow versus a virtual judging session we are doing, one thing, it is very public, right? And there's a lot of people is gonna go you. Apart from judging the competition tomorrow, you can create an immense impression towards out people who are out there, and there's a lot of influencers gonna watch this live, right? So two things, got to work hard to be one of that. Second, make sure to optimize the opportunity that you have tomorrow, right? So that you start it in the right way possible. Explain your idea clearly with a conviction, right? Be very clear about why you are doing this and what is it. Don't go around like, do you know there are problems like this? Do you know a place like this had a problem so that you know that developed into something? No, just create an impact, come into what exactly you are doing, right? Is it a platform? Is it a solution? Is it a innovation? Is it a product? Is it a service? Be very clear about it with a conviction why you are into it. Describe your evidence and how and why your idea could be implemented. Now, guys, very important, you connect this to COVID-19 challenge, right? COVID-19 impact, relevance, right? Because you do not go beyond the context of why this competition is being formed, right? You don't bypass, right? Make sure that you are keeping your context very clear so that you are tapping onto what part of COVID-19 impact that you are creating. So all of you know that we have criteria as, is it education, is it health, is it entertainment, is it community, or is it an unseen problem? Be very clear. There's no beating around the bush. Spot on. We are saying, okay, these are the evidence because of COVID-19, this has happened. And pitch is always, I don't want to give you the roadmap. I'm just giving you the roadmap. I'm not giving you the script, right? It's completely up to you to be very differential because you are the master of your idea. And end by addressing how your idea could affect your audience if they were to accept it, right? Primary goal of your talk is to communicate an idea very effectively. That is the primary goal. So your 5 minutes of your goal is to make sure that you have communicated your idea very, very effectively, right? So five best practices: feel the pain, right? One thing, you got to feel the pain, or at least you understand what the pain is, right? If you are talking about a health conflict solution, if you are talking about a business marketplace building, do you know the pain of either businessman or a person who's losing job? Because I know there was an idea which is connecting a market space of freelancers and job opportunities or business opportunities, right? So that's very, very important for you to connect how it will work, right? So feel the pain. So either you be a stakeholder of a volunteer or a businessman or a business opportunity. So you have some way of connecting to what is happening there. And absolutely be nice, right? So be very pleasant, right? Be very confident, because what is important, as always I say, is it's not idea. It's not that these hackathons, these competitions, these initiatives are taken in lack of ideas. This is completely in hunt of young minds and talents who can execute things, right? So it's not lack of ideas, it's lack of execution. So be very nice and most honestly be honest, right? So there's no one you're gonna impress in a very fake motive. And you are not looking at like, okay, fine, I have to win this no matter how, so that okay, let me keep on bullshitting. You have not validated, fine, no problem. Okay, this is what you have done. So that's also your personality. And why? We are a community driven leadership academy kind of feeling. We are giving back to the community, and this is a COVID-19 challenge. It's very important to be honest, right? In respect to all the time the mentors and the judges and the speakers is gonna give. Stand out. Try that one particular thing, what it makes you different, you running this, right? And luckily there is no any Q&A, right? There's no any Q&A, but I'll definitely make sure we will have a judging moderation publicly. When I say publicly moderation, so after all this particular judging is done, before announcing the winners, I will definitely ask you judges to share some good feedbacks about ideas. So this will definitely give you an opportunity of your feedback, probably certain things not directly as a Q&A, but some sort of interaction about the impact and the impression that you have created among the judges, right? So which is very, very, very important. Right. This is what I said, feel the pain, be nice, be honest, stand out. Okay, there's no Q&A here, right? So what should you include in the page, right? So this is exactly that I wanted you to have uh, your introduction, the problem and the solution that you want to talk, and be very specifically clear about market and potential. So if you are looking at whatever the solution, for example, I'll take a reference of this time I'll take a reference of a volunteer based platform, for example. Be very clear who is the kind of volunteer you're going to target, who are your consumers, right? What is the market you are looking at? Do not say people those who are using internet from the entire population of Sri Lanka, right? That is like 8 million of population who are on internet, right? So and at the rate of growth rate, no, you have to be specific, right? What is the market you are looking at? If there is any competition or current solution, and what is your business model? Probably this would have been discussed much better in the mentorship rooms. What is your customer acquisition plan? What is your business model? How are you going to sustain? How are you going to make money? Yes, yes. Thank you very much, Stanley. Because I'll come to the point why we are not having a Q&A. Because it's very good that you are ready for a Q&A, but at the same time, we are looking at complete virtual time, and we want to increase the number of pitching, which could be given an opportunity to go online. So, in the common intention of making sure, and also we are getting a very light group of people to come on board as judge, right? So we got to value the time. At the same time, be most of this Q&A would have been covered with your discussion with your mentors, because the mentors are highly equipped. The mentors are real-time industrial experts who have spent time with you, right? So absolutely most of the Q&A would have been covered, but however there will be a lot more engagement to be brought in. Thank you very much for the question. Right? And then demonstration, if you have, could be sharing a screen. If you have a video, plan yourself, right? Very quick. And I'm also going to tell you about how are you going to split the time between all these things, right? And then call to action. Okay, what do you want, right? Apart from startup weekend, apart from this hackathon, if you are very serious about taking this forward, and I know most of you are very serious about this, right? But what do you want? What is your next hurdle? Do you want market expansion, or do you want funding? Do you want team people to take it, or do you want the market to be open? Do you want mergers? What do you exactly want? Know your ask, right? I'll come into that, right? So this is something very quickly you should be looking at. So be very clear about strong opening sentence. Hi, my name is this. Be very straightforward. I am from XYZ, and what is your unique value proposition? Guys, this is just a roadmap. You are not necessarily need to follow this, right? Just giving you an idea. And as I told you, there is a knowledge component in what I'm doing right now. What sort of a pitching would help you in 5 minutes, right? And the problem that you are solving. So basically, you start who you are, what your team, and what is your unique value proposition, and what is the problem that you are solving, and your solution. And this is a big opportunity because of what, right? And what is your target market, right? When I say target market, be very clear what is your immediate market you are looking at. So if you say, if you take hospitality industry or tourism industry, You can talk about the entire world of travelers could be a target market. But from the point where you're operating with your value proposition, you said you have a very niche market. You're looking at a market which can be operated in the next few months, right? And we will acquire customers by how you will go to market, right? And how are you make money by, like, what is your business model? And if there's an existing solution, or if there's any competition, what it would be, and why are you better, right? So this is again connection of unique value proposition. And you can also quickly give a share about your team. And I highly tell you, like, don't spend more time on your team, because it's, all of us know, it's a teamwork. Make sure that you represent your team. So make sure that the diverse skill of the team is brought in. So if there's one developer, this is a developer, this is a business analyst. So just make sure that you are a very strong composite team. That's the idea behind it. And what have you done so far? It's your demo, right? And what are you planning to do next? And this is currently what is your ask, right? Call to action. So this is very simple as this, guys, and you need not use this many slides, right? It's totally up to you. And make sure what you want to do, right? If any one of you have a language barrier, please do speak to organizers. We'll make necessary step for you to go on your comfortable language, and we'll make sure it's being translated to the panel of judges. But why I say this very responsibly is nothing can stop your communication, because for me language is not a knowledge, it's a mode of communication, but you can improve it always. So if you think you need a specific communication, or if you think communication is a barrier, yes. Yes, Sandharvan, I have no problem. I can share the slides as well. I'll just get into. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to share you a site, a toolkit from Techstars, like what you did with Lean Canvas, which will be very helpful to you all, right? Okay, right. So, so there can be a demonstration, guys, like Marvel, InVision, whatever you want to do your prototypes with. If you have, like, these are free tools, and probably Anjana covered a lot about this. I'm not going to go in detail about it. And have some pictures, whatever you want to have, go to Unsplash, like, get into a lot more pictures, what it can be done. Right. Right. A few tips of how to get yourself perfect pitch. The last 5 tips I would say: make it perfect with your practice. Right. Do a couple of more practice, like do a couple of Zoom calls with your friends. Get it done right. Right. And guys, you got only 5 minutes, one idea, very clear opportunity. So do not repeat, right? So don't just read out your slide. Communicate. Use your slides, and now look into the slides that I'm using, right? It just give me a guideline what I should speak to you. And it's a tip number 2. Don't repeat. That's all I have, right? So just make sure that you are the communicator, what you are supposed to do, not a video or not your entire text document under the name of presentation. Not that, right? Make sure that you are comfortably communicating, and don't overload your slide. And there's no busy slides, right? So just keep it very compelling. And all the judges have given you the committed 5 minutes for all of you. So they will listen to you, no other job. So they're just going to be focused. So they don't want a lot of text on it. Just be very clear. And of course, this, you can't make an eye contact, but you can make an impact, right? With the energy level, right? So imagine I'm like sitting like this. I'm Fawaz. I wanted to tell you how to make an impactful presentation. I hope you will like it. Versus, hi guys, I want to make sure that what I'm telling is going into you. So I think this will work. So energy, right? Make your energy as your eye contact, right? Make yourself very clear about, show them that you are very serious about it, right? It's very important. Because I've been a person few years back, or like good 7 8 years back, pitching for competitions for my idea, and then being a judge. So I understand why energy makes a long go, and what are the mistakes that I did. So I take a lot of time, not that I know what exactly to be done, rather probably with my experience I know what not to be done. Than the do's, I'm very clear about don'ts. But again, trust me, how many, I don't know how many of you are the first time experience of pitching. Probably all of you have an experience pitching digitally for a virtual set of judges. So I always believe a bigger lover of experiences and adventures, right? So in that perspective, make your first experience comes only one time in anything. So just enjoy it, right? So make sure that you do it right. Keep it short and sweet, right? So yes, I'm trying to do that, but how it takes time, right? Yes, cool. Right. Thank you very much. So this is exactly what I want to communicate in terms of what to be communicated. Right. Right, guys. Let me quickly switch back the screen and let's see if I have covered. Okay, and don't leave it to the last minute. Right, and don't start your pitch by asking a question. Right, because this is very important that I wanted to cover, because like most of us are very comfortable presenting in physical environment with set of judges, we ask them a question. Have you ever had a problem that facing by health, or have you ever got stuck by not having a vehicle, not having a traffic problem, having a traffic problem? Now nobody's going to answer you because there's not even a Q&A, and you can't spend time waiting people to comment as well, right? So absolutely don't ask a question. Think as it's a one-way communication. You speak and there's an audience to listen, right? That's all, right? Just keep it very smart and going, and don't just come up with all these worldometer, right? Good that if you can understand what are the how much of people are affected in terms of stats, but don't only drive with stats. Tell a story of why you want to do this, including evidence of statistics, right? Probably there's a lot of, even whoever is working on education spectrum can understand UNICEF is doing a very live audit about world and regional learners who is being impacted, right? Bring that stat, but don't just go on like that this time this shows the stat. Yes, we know it's an impact, but try to communicate your story why you want to do this. Last but not least, create an impact and keep a track of time, guys, right? I know we get excited, we get opportunities, so let's make sure that you keep a very clear track of time. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much that I want to share in terms of the judging, sorry, the presentation. Okay, without further delay, right, I am going to get into telling you about what is in it tomorrow. Right, guys, I know there is 17 active teams who is working across the clock, right? And so let me make my statement very, very, very clear so that I don't miscommunicate. uh, Guys, there's going to be 10 teams going to get an opportunity to pitch. How the 10 teams will be chosen, we're going to give you a link now, and you have a deadline till tomorrow 12 noon, right? So tomorrow till 12 noon, you have, don't just get into it right now and start submitting the link. Work on it, work on your concept, work on your presentation, right? Once everything is done, and if you want to have, there's one round of mentorship sessions which is organized tomorrow morning. Complete all of that and get into an application as a team and complete it. Based on your application that you submit, the judges will go through that and shortlist 10 teams to go on public pitching, right? So it's very important. And so if any one of you thinking, okay, fine, it's out of 17, it's the 10 team getting, why should I submit an application? Uh, right? But you remember all the perks that we are talking about, all the $300 cloud credit, all the .co, all the global perks that you want. Only if you submit your idea through this particular link that we're going to share for the first round of evaluation, all of you are eligible for it, right? And you remember that we're going to select certain people with the engagement and the commitment that you have given, whether your idea is being chosen by the judges or not. There are certain people who will be given a different set of grant, like $500, right? So that coming from DO. So that also will be definitely calculated, and definitely the prerequisite for it is you or your team has submitted your idea in this, right? And it's only one person in your team get an opportunity. In case if you are a team which is selected in one of those top 10s, Rather, I would call it top 10, let's say 10 teams, because there's no top, because all of you are eligible, right? There's nothing wrong. It's just that it's all about communication and the time, right? So the 10 teams, you have to select who is a guy who is going to present, right? So get him a lot more practice, get him or her a lot of practice, right? So again, if you have a very specific reason you want to go more than one person, we will still accommodate. Having said that, there's a lot of technological barrier can cause the problem within 5 minutes when the more than one person goes, right? So be very sure. No. Definitely not only team leads, guys. Let me be very specific. Sometimes team lead can be a great planner, but not a communicator. You as a team decide who is going to be a communicator. Because why? Don't hire a communicator and bring, right? Don't get a person, okay, I'll get this person, he's a very good talker. No, you should be one of your team member, but get them to communicate, like whoever who decide, right? Because there's no Q&A, so make sure it's a well planned pitch, but please don't outsource the communication. Be very clear about it, right? So one of your team member who the team agrees, right? Very very good question, After. Thank you. Right. So that's probably a few things. Okay, let's get on to. Let me share the screen. Chrome tab. Yes. Okay, guys, there is something called this master your pitch. So this tool will be this particular link will be shared on Discord in a while. I hope you can see my screen. Let's see where it is. Yeah, you see my screen. Right, cool. Right. So this is basically master your pitch. Yes, the first one is some. Even as I told you, I've been a. I don't know even still I'm a good communicator, but I've been a very worse and a bad communicator. Good 8 years back, right? So probably worse than what I'm right now. I can't say I'm the best, but I'm improving still day by day. I'm improving, I would say. But however, so most of the entrepreneurs suck at pitching or probably not very comfortable in communicating the idea because they are very executors and people who can walk, not just talk, right? So just that it needs a lot of practice and make your introduction interesting, demonstrate what you sell, and show me the money. So show the people the impact and the money, stick the landing. So these are a few videos that which will help you to practice, and they'll talk about what it is exactly. But more interestingly, there's an exercise that you can do. So this is your pitching exercise, right? So it has a lot of example. Who is your audience for your pitch? What is the mindset as they sit in the audience? So all these will help you to frame your pitching. What action would you like an audience member to take because of your pitch? Right. So you will understand the impact. Right. So this is a very good practice. And guys, as I told you, what we create here is entrepreneurial spirit in a very experiential learning. And I am a believer entrepreneurship can't be taught. It has to be experienced, learned, and it has to be like you have to get a failure experience to see what it is all about. It's not about winning spirit, right? But for you need to experience it, right? Nothing more than experiencing it, right? So make sure that you go through this experience of practices, right? What do you want to hear from the person presenting? What do you want to feel? So all these, make sure that guys you go ahead and fill. I'll pick few things, right? How might you make your interaction personal to your audience? How might you visualize the customer? So when these questions are asked, it will be a very good igniting point or trigger point. How can you make your presentation interesting? Right. This is something that I want to cover. Right. Again, guys, this will be out there. Uh, right. Yes. So introduction, keep it to 30 seconds. Demo, keep it between 2 to 3 minutes. Business between 30 seconds to 1 minute, and land it in 30 seconds. Right. So the again, this very clearly says in the introduction, the storytelling, you can say starting fact, an interesting personal story, humor, contradiction to conventional wisdom, or a fear. Circle what you want to do and make sure that you don't do everything because you have only 5 minutes, right? And the demo. How do you want to do the demo? A video, PowerPoint presentation, or just you want to like walk them through? walk them through, be very clear, and our technical team will really support you, the organizers. And there'll be tech checks also, right? If you want to do a tech check about the platform that you're going to present, definitely that's there as well in the agenda, right? And stick to the learning. So you can make use of this particular exercise, which will make it really impactful. Right, guys? Yes, I don't want to make it further long, and I'll just quickly share you the other screen about uh, how is your application is going to look like, which you need to fill, so that you are very clear. Because why I go into this extent is I want to make sure that you guys do these things right and perfect. So there will be an application like this, which you have to fill and be very clear. And there is about 7 pages to go. Uh, there's a small video also to make in. Go ahead, try to understand what is there you need to fill. And as I told you, normally people will say you to rush and finish off the application faster. But with my experience with Startup Weekend and being a facilitator, I all my role and as a community give back through Techstars Startup Weekend. We wanted to inspire you. We wanted to give you the freedom and the time that you want to think, right? Because right now your idea is being molded. So that is why we have extended your time till tomorrow 12 noon. At the same trust that we give you, make sure that you submit it by 12, tomorrow 12 noon, right? Because we got all these judges coming at that time to make sure they spend some quality time with the application to streamline into 10 best ideas, right? So that's going to be done. So these are the two takeaways which will happen tomorrow. So your night is all yours. You have done very clear mentorship, and there's a lot more to come. So tomorrow, guys, we will have a very quick live at around 9 to 9:30. Uh, we'll make sure that I'll communicate this on announcement again on a firm time. And so this is exactly kind of explaining you the round one of evaluation. And I wanted to do a one more session to make sure that you are very comfortable. And trust me that I want to tell this. Normally, whenever I do a facilitation, I become very closer to all these students. But on a virtually, I feel it very hard. But I'm learning for sure. So I wanted to support you in all my possible ways, right? So let me know, like if there's anything, I'll be moderating the judging. I'll be there with you, right? Just whatever the confidence that I can give you. So we'll do a one more round of checkup tomorrow morning. And again, tomorrow 10 to 12, there'll be a mentorship happening, right? And then by the time of 12, guys, you have your time clicking to submit your application, right? So maximum before anything before 12 to 1, anything between 12 to 1, your application should be there. So make sure that you are there for it. And then 2 o'clock onwards, there will be a moderation happening. And sharp at 3 to 3:30, we will go live with all the judges, right? So tomorrow morning, I'll definitely explain you about what is tomorrow morning and what is the agenda. So we will have a round of more checkup between 9 to 9:30. That will give you the complete morning booster and what you need to do and how the day is like to be. Right? Again, guys, work your best to become one of that 10. And trust me, whether you are not, or make sure that your idea and the concept is submitted through your application, which will be shared in a short while in a best possible format. Right? That's very, very important. That's your brand as well. What you are talking is your brand. Yes, guys. So that's pretty much. And I also like again most of the live that I had an opportunity to go up to 1.5 hours and 2 hours, but I always put myself into your shoes that I never wanted to. Like I rather give you a lot of time to work than talk, right? So let's walk the talk in entrepreneurship. Thank you very much, guys, being a lovely audience, even in this time, giving me a lot of freedom for us to give you the best. So you are being a good receiver for all the mentors, judges, and speaker to come and give you concepts, ideas, and support, right? Okay, thank you very much for being part of Techstars Startup Weekend COVID-19. We are officially concluding the day number 2 in terms of live, right? So entire day on Discord is there, all your mentors up there helping you around, and few judges are silently walking around. Just want to give you to be very clear. So just be very awesome, be very committed, and there's a organizer team is working on with different panel to understand what they can do, who are the people need to be selected into that different grant on personal engagement and team engagement. Yes, guys, wish you all the very best. The all stage is all yours, right? You are gonna rock tomorrow, and there's more thing we're gonna cover tomorrow morning, right? Hope this has helped you in terms of presentation skills. Uh, all the very best. So we'll share we'll share this particular pitch deck, especially the tool link, which will reach to you on Discord, right? All the very best, guys, right? Signing you off from Fawaz to make sure that we are there on Discord, all of us together. Let's make this happen, guys. Right? Thank you very much, the team mentors. Let's keep it going. Awesome.